So it's stretching for adults because for kids it's different. For adults, it's not like yoga because I was practicing yoga for a few years too, so I have a little bit of that knowledge, kind of. And every exercise can be adapted and can have some props or something because as adults everyone has different levels and it's much more difficult. You can't do the same what you do with the kids, so you need to be aware because we have some traumas in our body, we have some some stiffness. Oh, bachatas kind of look like cha-cha-cha, okay, and salsa looked like samba, okay, I'll try. And we go with some like friend and I pretend that I dance, because the beat is the same, almost the same, and the something, and I pretend that I can salsa, I pretend that I can bachata, and people come to me, oh, you're so good, and I'm like, I just don't know what I'm doing actually, but okay, if you say I'm good, I'm like passionate, okay, let's try. And it like gave me motivation to learn. It's your time. So yeah, let me start. And the guy said, oh, I'm a Jack Sparrow now, I'm a pirate.
Very nice. Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Liz. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Hello, Luca.
Very nice. So Liz is a stretching coach, a dancer, and a fashion designer. And of course, we met during the musical. We did a musical show a couple of years ago, and Liz was a dancer, one of the main dancers in the show. But first of all, I'd like to ask you, what is your story in life?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, it was very amazing to have that musical. It's like so nice project. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I was a part of it and I met you, Luca. My story in life, I don't know where to begin from, but I'm here in Koh Phangan for some years already. I moved here right before COVID for 1 year before. When I was tired of, I'm originally from Russia, as you know, and I was kind of tired of this city life, rushing around, working like almost all the time, like day and night, like, like having this very short vacation and just like only in this period to have rest or something and then go back to this race. And at some point I decided that I'm done. And I decided to switch my life, kinda. I always dreamed about living somewhere where it's summertime the whole year and the sea and everything. And because I knew Koh Phangan already, I had a few times vacation here. I decided to start from here and then, maybe travel, maybe something. So I quit my job. I moved with no plan and started figuring out it here. And then the COVID started. And okay, it was the best place to be stuck in. And then,
sure.
yeah, still I'm here. I love Koh Phangan as my home. So it's really nice to be here. That's how I end up here.
Very good. And can you tell us a little bit more about your family background? I mean, you're from Moscow, or like where are you from in Russia, and what did you do as a growing up child?
I was born not in Moscow. I was born in the middle of Russia, where Ural Mountains, the city called Ufa. So it's not very big, very small. It's something medium. So yeah, I went to school there. I graduated from university there, and after I moved to Moscow for like 5 years, like figuring out life, working, and everything, and burned out there after 5 years. But when I was a kid, from 5 years old, my mom brought me to dance school. So I was like dancing day and night from like 5 till 15. That is my like background, like Latin dancing. Like all of them, they call it ballroom dancing, when it's like samba, rumba, cha-cha-cha, like paso doble, tango, waltz, like foxtrot, like a lot of different kind of style, and it's cool. It wasn't that professional, so I didn't go to competition, but it was nice environment and the team, and like very nice how I was growing up, surrounded by this kind of people. They're very, I don't know, very nice. And then I quit and I decided to, normal life, university. My dad told me something like, as a dancer, what can you do next? How can you, can you do after, and I thought, okay, I can go and dance as a go-go dancer in the club, which wasn't that attractive, or go teach kids. This also was like, yeah, I decided just to quit. And after, when I was living already in Moscow, I decided, I was 25, I think, I decided to go back to dancing, already modern dancing, like dance hall, hip hop, high heels, all this kind of styles. And I figured out how dancing makes me happy. And I was, wow, why I did that big break, why? And I was so happy, and I started dancing again, and and recently I exploring bachata and salsa. This is my passion for now.
That's lovely. So since 5 years old, so very young, you started dancing because of sort of family kind of encouragement, and then you said at university. What did you study? What did you study at university?
Actually, I wanted to be a translator, so it was a linguistic university. But after 1 year, when I was already kind of okay with my English, I thought that, no, it's not what I want to do, and I quit. My parents were shocked, but yeah. Then I started all over again, and then I had a master's degree. I finished it finally. It's marketing and management, kind of boring. But while I was in Moscow, I really working with like a marketing management, manager, and it was interesting experience.
So 5 years in Moscow, huge city, the capital of Russia, like everything happening there, right? And you said you burn out because, of course, it's taking a lot of energy, right? The lifestyle there.
Yeah. I mean, everyone is running, is rushing, and it's kind of race. And being in that environment, of course, you becoming one of them. If you're not running, it means you're not degrading, but kinda that's what it's okay. I need to do more. And in general, I like this switch when I'm in Koh Phangan. Of course, maybe someone say too, how to say.
Relaxed, yeah. Lazy? No.
No, I mean, yeah. Good examples.
You don't look like the person at all.
Such a huge change, okay. But kind of. But here I can see it's a kind of simple life here, but many things that I thought was meaningful to me there. Now I see that I can live without them, and I'm okay, But when I'm going back to Russia for this summertime, I was there for 3 months. And in the end of 3 months, I would start feeling that. When everyone around having this, want this and this and this, you're kind of thinking, oh, maybe I want this too, maybe I need this too, but come on, no, it was interesting to come in here, I don't know, I don't need so much clothing, and I need my heels, and I don't need this, I don't need I don't know, car or something, giving away everything, but now it's more balanced. Of course, I understand that you can't live on the beach in the hammock, it's kind of this kind of approach. Also there should be balance. Even here now, we can see that many people who was burned down in the city, they come here, they kind of avoid and they refuse everything, and then they, after some time, they go back and then find the balance between these two. I don't know if you understand what I mean.
For sure. The balance between having some material comfort,
yes,
a more mature lifestyle in a way, but also having the connection with nature and the minimalism and also the laid-back approach to life. So. And of course, as you said, many people maybe come here, they go too much onto one side, whilst people back home, they just live for material success.
So that's what happened. First year or 2 years for me, it was completely I don't need anything. I go barefoot. I all of this. I don't watch nothing, and I'm just almost throwing away my phone. But okay, no, that's not true. But kinda, and then you're going back. Okay, come on, this is important anyway, because then you navigate how you want your new life look like.
Perfect, right? And there is one piece missing about your background. I mean, when did you get into fashion? Of course, you're very fashionable everywhere I see you. There is, you have a certain maybe innate fashion sense, but I mean, you also developed a passion for fashion design, is that right?
Yeah, you know, like from very young age when I was dancing, we were sewing costumes for ourselves, not me, but my mom, and I was helping her. So I saw how it kind of making, but I didn't have any knowledge when I was living in Moscow. There was one year when I was not working properly and I had time, and there one year I was going like full time to some fashion design school, so like 10 days per hour, per 10 hours per day. And we were like I was studying modeling, you know, like fashion illustration, and also like design, how to construct all the clothing, then you know how to make them. And I spent 1 year, then I even sewed my wedding dress. It was a huge project and everything. So, and yeah, I can sew everything, but I'm not doing it. It's easy to go to the shop and buy it, but I have the knowledge.
And you like, of course, clothing, looking in a certain way. It's part of a personal expression in a way. Right?
Yeah, it was my childhood dream to become a fashion designer, to have like my shop and my clothing. Sometimes I was doing it like when in Moscow, make some special design and do some dress, but it was to make it perfect and beautiful when it's not like somewhere on the manufactory, when you're by yourself and you do everything from start to finish. It's a kind of huge project and takes a lot of time. That's why I started to take orders to sew for people, but then I realized that I spent so much time for that, and like it doesn't worth it. I can't charge that much money. How many time I spent for that. And it's like, okay, go guys, buy yourself, yes. And I'll do the same.
Let's start from the stretching. Of course, everybody knows that it's good, important, very beneficial, very healthy to be flexible, right? Especially as you age, as you sort of get a little bit older, etc. And particularly if you have a sedentary lifestyle, if you're in front of a computer. I mean, what is your sort of philosophy behind stretching? How do you teach people to stretch?
I combine everything I know, because from very young age I was working with my body and I'm very aware of what's going on of my body. And first it was dancing, but I didn't pay a lot of attention there for stretching. It was okay, I never had splits or something. Then when I quit dancing, my mom brought me to the fitness, and I was crazy this 10 years of like gap when I didn't dance. I was into fitness. Oh, okay. I was even like had some courses, I was training myself. I tried everything, like all this kind of gym and Pilates and like TRX and boxing and like free weights, everything. I was very interested of everything, how it can work, and took some classes, but I never worked with people. I did it by myself. It was my hobby. And when I moved to Moscow, I started working with some startup, and there where I burned out actually. I was working there for 3 years from like very beginning. So it was just starting about like contact stretching. So it's stretching for adults, because for kids it's different. For adults, it's not like yoga, because I was practicing yoga for a few years too, so I have a little bit of that knowledge, kind of. It's more closer to gymnastic. So it's approach when you warm up your body very good, and then you go into different like exercises, but every exercise can be adapted and can have some props or something, because as adults everyone has different levels, and it's much more difficult. You can't do the same what you do with the kids, so you need to be aware, because we have some traumas in our body, we have some some stiffness or something. Someone have doing a lot of exercise of weights, and they have too much stiffness.
For sure, muscle stiffness.
Like yes, in their body, and for them it's very difficult. People who doesn't do much exercises, they're much more flexible, because they don't need to overcome through this. So everyone is different, and we need to adapt every exercise to that. And not only I give exercises, then I correct the posture, and I push a little bit. This is a contact stretching which I'm doing. So back in Moscow, I found out I already was into fitness, but they invited me as a manager, and I start working there as a manager and go into all of the classes. So it was professional gymnastics who was on top of it. Yeah, and they create a special program for adults how to become flexible, and do it very slowly, step by step. And with them, for a few months, I took all my splits. I achieved all the crazy stuff, and it was easier for me. But at the same time, I went through as a client through everything. As an adult, I know how it can be, and I look around, and then we start growing. We start from very tiny, and then in the end we were a brand, the net of 8 studios around Moscow, with a back office and with a educational center for the trainers who come to us, who can study. And of course I was working with the trainers. We educate them, we control them, we're everything from start to finish. And there where I learned everything about it, when I was a client, when I was working with the trainers too, so from every aspect, and when I quit, and I came here, I started working in terms of fitness and helping people to be flexible. First, just not for fun, but for my friends, because I know in terms of fitness what can be done. And I combine not only that approach, because also in Pilates, in yoga, some people is not ready for this crazy gymnastic exercises.
Yeah.
They need something less. So everything I know, I combine in my classes. Now, for myself, I don't go to the gym. I don't do weights. And in general, for a girl, maybe someone says it's not right. But I believe that for a woman, for example, it's not very, weights are not important. Of course, if you want to grow some parts of your body, it's easier with the weights. But I believe that everything can be done with your own weight.
Sure,
there are many exercises and everything. If you want to get fit and you want some nice, relief and everything, I think that stretching and your own weight, a little bit this and that, and it can, it can make you flexible. And especially, as you mentioned, it's very important not only for super splits or some crazy stuff that can be done, but also just for normal life. If you can't, touch your toes, to even to tie the laces, or or go on your knees, or to play with your grandkids, or something easy things, you should be flexible just to to live.
Sure. I think a flexible body feels very different, and I like when you're talking about people that go to the gym with the weights, because indeed you get a big muscle, but it's a short muscle, it's contracted, and you see sometimes these gym types, they move like that. It's almost strange,
I know, and they come to me sometimes. People okay, I do a lot of first thing I ask them, what are you doing? How is what you have sport or something in their life? And they say, oh, I go to the gym. Are you paying attention to the stretching? They usually say kinda, a little bit. And then I realize that it's much more difficult for them and more painful to overcome this. And even sometimes when they're okay with that, I advise them, can you make less weights and more stretching? And they really see how even for a little bit of time, when their muscles are not that, filled in all the time, it's easier to stretch them. And I saw the girls who's very fit, at the same time, these big muscles can be flexible at the same time. It's really rare, but it's also possible.
Yes, because you see, for instance, maybe yoga is very popular with ladies as well, because I think the yoga muscle is long, it's more elegant in a way, compared to it's a personal preference, but I see your point. And you can do so much just with your own weight, as you said, and you can teach them many different techniques. And I like the fact that you say that depending on the person, you can do a little bit more, a little bit less. It needs to be customized, because we all have different bodies.
Yes, exactly. That's why I don't believe in all the stretching is good, but when there is huge group, 20 people, and the trainer showing, okay, now we'll do the forward fold, and everyone is doing who knows how, and it's just come on, it's not, it will not work for them. They go for a few classes and they say, okay, I can't stretch, because no one's showing you how to, no one adjust your posture, no one will help you, and
Cool.
It's very, very important to stretch.
Okay, so you dance first, then you go into fitness, then you started dancing again. I see the two things a little bit related. I think dancing is sounds and looks maybe more beautiful, and it's probably more fun, But if you have a good stretching regime, you know your body very well, then maybe it's easier to dance as well.
Yes, when I was starting dancing and I was 25, 26, do some, I don't know. I remember I found it like twerk class. And we need to go very low and we need to, you know, move the hips. And I just don't understand why I can't. And then at the same time, I start working with the company and I start stretching. And I found out how it's easier when you have, you know, when you have like deep forward fold, when you have your calf stretched. It's easy to go there and isolate your body doing some kind of things. And it's was much easier because at the beginning I felt myself as an old lady. There was like, you know, like 15, 16 years old girls and my knees were hurt. And I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? But like it was, you know, a little bit of stretching and it really helped me to advance my, you know, my dancing too.
Yeah,
so it's like win-win situation.
The twerking is probably the best thing to look at on the internet, in my opinion. But you know, okay. Beside that, you mentioned now that your big passion is Latin dance, and you're doing sort of more and more of it. Is that right? And so you said bachata and what was
salsa
and salsa. So these are the two passions of yours at the moment. Is that right?
Yeah. I like figured out what is this because when I was dancing, it was Latin dancing in my background, and I kind of bored. I thought it's lame already. I did it for like 10 years, and I never know that it's like it's different. It's social dancing. It's improvisation in terms of the steps. It's easy for me because I have that background when we was doing crazy stuff. But in terms of that, it's improvisation, and you're not the one who lead. You're one who follow. For me, it was crazy. Like at some point, like 1 or 1.5 years ago, here in Koh Phangan, I was first time on this salsa bachata, and I was looking, oh, bachatas kind of look like cha-cha-cha, okay, and salsa looked like samba, okay, I'll try. And we go with some like friend, and I pretend that I dance, you know, because the beat is the same, almost, you know, the same, and the something, and I pretend that I can salsa, I pretend that I can bachata, and people come to me, oh, you're so good, and I was like, I just don't know what I'm doing actually, but okay, if you say I'm good, I'm like passionate, okay, let's try. And it like gave me motivation to learn. But I was like, there was not enough maybe classes on the island, or maybe I was lazy, I don't know. I was learning from the leaders. Every time I was going for around all the socials I can go, and every time guys inviting me, they trying to dance with me, and I stopped them and said, okay, what was that? Show me. And every time after the social, I had new move, and then like I started to going around the festivals and learn it, because the most difficult part for me was to follow. And I really, it was almost, I closed my eyes, I trying to almost meditate before the social and telling, okay, Liz, it doesn't matter. I'm grateful to everyone who take my hand, just follow no matter what, because for me, I was always doing choreographies. And okay, what we're doing now? Are we turning? Are we this? And for me, it was just to follow, you know, just to react on the spot, what he wants to do with you. It's the most difficult part. And when it finally happens in a nice way and you understand each other without words, it's the magic.
Wow.
So this whole year, it was full of salsa bachata. I visited, I think, 4 festivals, 1 in Russia, 2 in Thailand, 3 in Thailand. Yeah, 3 in Thailand, 1 in Russia, and it was crazy. I mean, the festivals is like 5 days, you're dancing, and there are workshops, and like from day and night, and like it was so cool.
So much fun. It's dance, particularly this kind of dance, is one of the most wonderful way to connect with other people, isn't it? Because as you said, at some point, you're moving in unison, you're totally synchronized, and you don't need words anymore. You just feel the energy of the other person, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wow,
it's
and
so
what
cool.
a great thing to have. Like, of course, it's so much fun, you know, when you're dancing, but then maybe it's a skill that you develop. I mean, are you more in tune? Do you feel the energy of other people when you're off the dance?
I mean, I always was very sensitive to other people's energies, but in this case, for me as a woman, I think it's really nice practice, because you need to surrender, you need to follow, you need to, you know, just let it go. And it's very, very difficult, especially, for example, some leader who beginner. And I'm not beginner, I think that I'm not beginner anymore. And,
yeah.
you know, and you need to surrender anyway and have fun anyway. So it's not about doing crazy moves or going to competition. It's more about have fun anyway. It doesn't matter, because it's more about you look in the eye, you have fun, he's turning, and like you, it's, I don't know, like someone who say like, I think if you never saw how people dance on the social dancing events, you just need to go and dance. It's even hard to explain. And the crowd here is very, very nice and friendly in general. I'm very grateful and trying to join and be like contribute to this community here in Koh Phangan, the Latin community, salsa, bachata, kizomba. Now we even have zouk when we have some cool festival in March, you know, and it's so nice. All the people are super friendly. It's a little bit different crowd because Koh Phangan is an island of parties, everyone knows,
Sure.
but mostly it's like electronic music, techno parties. Okay, ecstatic dance is also a very big community, but Latin dance community was small and it's growing, it's bigger. I'm very proud of us. Yay!
Very good. Okay, one small or big piece of your background as well. I mean, it's the love for fashion, right? We mentioned it earlier, and I know that you've been developing a headscarf kind of style of fashion line. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. It's one of my biggest project, is kind of my baby. Here in Koh Phangan, in general in Thailand, the girls have this problem, let's say, when you drive motorbike and there is a sun and there is a sea and the climate special, and even if you like wash your hair, you do your hair, you sit on motorbike, you drive somewhere and it's done. Girls will understand me. So your hair damaged from the sun, you put the stupid balm on your head and they're broken, or like they burn from the sun. It's always mess, you know. And we were struggling, like everyone's struggling. And before COVID started, like a few months before, we were sitting with my friend Adele at some cafe, and in the end we were like, okay, she's putting the head in the cap and I do my stupid balm and we're about to go, you know, somewhere. And we were, why we should invent something for the girls to still be feminine and like protect the hair. Why we don't have the solution? And we like really was start thinking about it. And it was the click. I remember that day, and like, yeah, and I had this background of design, and she had some prototype which she bought like many years ago somewhere in the States, and we had this idea and we started working on it. So it's not a headscarf, and then we created the special headwear, we call it.
Headwear, yes.
Headwear, yeah, where you can put your hair inside, where you can like protect your hair first of all while you drive motorbike from the sun and everything, and they won't be damaged, they won't be broken. And then we start, you know, to giving it to our friends, and we found nice Thai textile here to produce them. And yeah, and there was COVID, and I had plenty of time to work on it. And it was so cool, and it's still like we love this project, and you can find it somewhere like in Dots Coffee or Kali Bohemian Shop, our thing. If you want,
and
I can demonstrate.
Yes, show it to me.
Actually, yeah, there is a headscarf kinda, but it's already pre-tied. It has a ribbon inside. It's like a hat with some kind of tails, yeah. And if, for example, you just wear it like that, it can just be a stylish accessoire, you know. Now it's authentic thing, but you see there is a kind of bag behind where you can put your hair. For example, I do my hair and I want to put the ribbon or cap. I just put it in so they won't be damaged.
Very nice, very nice. And you can drive on a motorbike if it's windy, still stays on. You can even like
Yes, and then, for example, it was like that. And then the girls who start wearing it, our friends, will start playing with the tails. Said, okay, if we do, okay, I don't have a mirror, I hope it will be okay. And then we were thinking, okay, if you put it like this, it can be like a turban.
Yes.
And also, it's again, like you have a bag, and it can be, okay, one style. Perfect. What else can we do? And there was a COVID, as I told you, and the sun protection. They let us go in 7-Eleven or immigration, even like that. And now I drive motorbike with sunglasses like that.
Very good.
I can breathe through it. It's natural material, cotton and linen only we use. Also, it can be the pirate style when you wear it on one side. So, and also like many other styles girls create all the time, but the thing is, when you're on your destination, you can bring back your hair and it won't be damaged. And we made it with a ribbon, so it's one size for the girls, for the guys. It's like And guys now also wearing it. You want to try?
Of course.
Okay, let's play with it.
Okay.
Have you ever tried?
No.
No? Okay.
Okay.
Destiny, it's your time. So, yeah, let me start. And the guy said, "Oh, I'm a Jack Sparrow now. I'm a pirate."
Very nice. And you know, I have also a need to protect my hair from the sun.
Yeah, they go like they damaged or what?
Well,
Why?
I cut my hair recently, like about 9 months ago.
Yeah, I remember. So you can leave this curtain like that. You can remove. Oh, actually, this Arabian style. The guy's like.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I think we can continue the interview like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Very nice. So you're saying, you know, it's your design with your friend Adele.
Yeah.
And you developed the concept. Now you're manufacturing it in Thailand, and it's available in some shops here. You said Dots, you said Kali, for instance.
Yeah.
And it's something very useful indeed because, you know, the sun here is certainly something to be reckoned with, you know. And I had a practical problem with my hair too, you know, like it does get damaged. Whilst like this, you can protect it. And wow, so it's useful and it's fashionable, it's creative, and it's made in Koh Phangan.
Yeah. And we're trying to even like support. We know like actually when we start searching for a fabric, and we found really nice like manufacturers, really nice fabric in Bangkok and Chiang Mai. So we're like now we have our like suppliers we like, and it's very nice to have, you know, something natural from here, you know, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's not like forever like this, but I feel it very when I see people on the Koh Phangan wearing them somewhere, they combine it with their style, they style it something nice. I almost run in behind them with my phone trying to capture them because my heart is melting whenever it tastes like my baby. I see how it's useful for people, how they love it, and in general it's so cool. And you know, when you're producing something and the person who's using it, really, it's like this is not like a net when it's produced somewhere on the factory in China, and then you know who else like buying it, and the person like from there, like the connection, like I know like we made this piece, like
See,
and the person is wearing it. It's
creativity, attention, and love into this thing. So very nice, and you can find them on the island, also in some markets, etc. Right? Very good.
Yeah.
That's
and
lovely.
online also, like now you can buy online all over the world.
Online too, so we'll put the link. And okay, so now you say you've been in Koh Phangan for quite a while, and why do you love Koh Phangan so much then?
I love Koh Phangan in general because I can meet people all over the world here. And you know, back in Russia, even if my surrounding was very nice people and my family is nice and all of them, but my perspective was like that, and I thought that things can be only like this. And now I see much more because I meet people every day, like from different countries. Someone is traveling, someone is like just like, you know, and I asking them, what are you doing? And when I hear, oh really, wow, it can be like that, wow, oh, and you know, my perspective, now I see how, you know, like I don't know, like somewhere in the world, maybe of course there are other places like that, but here is like concentration of the people, super creative, smart, you know, so beautiful people at Koh Phangan, and just like nowhere else. It's like, you know, combination, super fit, and like and everyone is talented, and when you meet them and you speak with them, I don't know, now I think like that everything is possible in this world. When I was living, even like when I was living in Russia, I have a knowledge, but I didn't have enough like creativity and courage to create some, I don't know, brand or something. And here it just happens, everything just happens naturally if it's yours. And also, I don't know, maybe it's my approach, but this like manifestation or speaking about something with people, and then it just appears like magically. I don't know, it just because everyone is so open and friendly, or it's because the magic of the island, everyone's saying. So I just like the people here, and it's very nice that it's safe here, and how Thai local people, they kind of accepting us, because come on, we came to their island, to their land, and we're doing it whatever we want, and they're not, you know, like they're not disturbing us. We kind of co-live together, and I'm trying to be very kind. I go into some, even so some my favorite cafes which I really like, and they're run by Thais, and I always try to speak with them and to understand what they're living and how. And okay, there are some nice family like Yang Song Cafe. They just came like from Bangkok. Their family are going for a few years, and I like to even participate with their some events or like connect like this also. And I don't know if I could have this experience for this like 5 years I'm in Koh Phangan. I think this 5 years I had so much things happened here like for 10 years or something. It's just
so
like
many gifts.
So this life is very intense in a good way.
Yes, I totally agree. International, creative, beautiful. This is like very much our community, right? And lots of energies, and it's a place for experimentation. So you can experiment.
Yes, you can be free with that, and no one no one judge you, because all of us are some. I don't know that they were like it's a play yard for adults.
Yes, totally it is, and I'm so glad to see you like manifesting so well, Of course, I'm a fan of yours on Instagram. I like your reels and the stories very much.
Cool.
Anyway.
So my visual content,
yes,
useful,
well, but
entertain someone.
I also enjoy chatting to you indeed. You got so many things to talk about, and your life has been so interesting already so far. So thank you very much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Kapun kap.
Thank you, Luca.